What's up, everyone? Welcome to Intoxicated Opinions. We are back. It's Wednesday. I'm thirsty. Thirsty Wednesday.
Water. Does the body good.
Weller's bourbon might do the body good, too.
We're going to see. We're going to check it out.
We do not do bourbon much. I think we've done 2 or 3 videos of bourbon, and I didn't really take them serious because I was like, who the hell drinks bourbon? Well, apparently, a lot of mofos drink bourbon. So we're going to start on our path to our bourbon-cy.
You don't like bourbon?
We're going to become bourbon knights. I never really got into it. I think I tried that, we tried that Maker's Mark, and
we didn't like that.
No. I was like, whatever.
Maker's 42. Yeah, both of those, huh?
So maybe I'm just more used to, I'm big on Scotch. He's big on cognac.
I guess we could say this is in between, huh? Bourbon is in between.
In between what?
Scotch and
no.
Scotch and cognac.
I guess we could call it the middle ground. So this bottle brought to you by a friend. He's going to be supplying us with bottles to taste test often, every week specifically. He's kind of like a bourbon expert. So I'm just going to take my bottles from him. We're going to give our reviews. He's with a group called Rickhouse KC. If you're in the KC area, you like whiskey, check the group out. He said start here. Weller's has a whole line. This is the bottom, and we're going to go to the top. And we're going to check it out.
Kentucky-based whiskey, right?
Yeah. Weller's is from Kentucky. There are a couple things that need to happen. Is this a shot or is this a shot?
Oh, no, that's 2 ounces.
This little thing? What in the world? We're going to go 2 today.
No, that's 1.5 ounces. My bad. That's a real shot.
I'll pour you a cup, my guy.
There you go. That's a real shot. Shot. 1.5 ounces.
You know what? I should have poured it in the dry.
It don't matter. You'll have to drink both of them. Come on. Be more prepared.
I've been on a whiskey cleansing for a while. I ain't drinking like 24 hours.
That's it.
That's it. And here I am. Well, yesterday was Taco Tuesday, so you can't leave out the margaritas, Actually, I think I had Scotch. Scotch is always my go-to. Okay, to be a bourbon, it has to be made in America. America. If they make this whiskey and it's 2 miles south of Texas, it can't be a bourbon. It's got to be aged in new charred oak barrels. What does that mean? They can't reuse the barrels. Like some of the Scotch whiskey we have, it says aged in bourbon barrels. You cannot age bourbon in any barrels. They have to be new barrels. There's some other rules. It's got to be 51% corn.
Wheat. Ain't this a wheat one?
Yeah. So it's either wheat or rye normally. As far as my understanding goes, I may have to research it more. If I'm wrong, someone will say, "Hey, you don't know what you're talking about," and I'll say you're right because I'm not a bourbon drinker.
Smells like bourbon.
I don't even know.
Has a little sweet smell to it.
So I was watching a professional taster, and he said he smells it from left to right on his nostrils. He wants to smell anything bad, like.
How far do you have to go left or right?
He does up close, and then when he's further away, he said you can get the sweetness, but up close is all the alcohol. You should be able to smell the wheat. You should be able to smell the base of the drink.
It's much stronger at room temperature than it is on ice to smell the difference.
Then he said he wiggled it around like this, and it's called the legs, right? So this probably isn't the best glass for that, but how it moves, the fluid motion of it, will tell you how much fat is left over.
Wiggle.
Anyway, I'm not that.
Wobble, wobble.
I'm not that expertise. It's called the legs. The legs of the whiskey.
What the fuck song is that? Wobble, 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 wobble.
Wobble, wobble. Won't you shake it, shake it?
Yeah. Nah, it's another song. It's a dance. It's a fucking line dance or something like that.
What year? A decade, probably.
The wobble. Yeah, it's
I ain't
the
never
wobble.
heard of that.
It's all right.
So here we are. Cheers, my man.
Cheers.
Oh, he also said, just take a little drop at first. I know you like to gulp stuff down.
I know you like to swallow. Fuck you looking at?
I'm just trying to take some tips from a pro, man.
It's definitely it's a bourbon.
How can you tell? What smell are you smelling?
It's the taste. It's not a smell. It's a certain taste.
Are you big on bourbon?
Bourbon has a harsher taste than cognac. Cognac
have
is.
a lot of bourbon?
I got a couple up there. Yeah, that Jim Beam.
Unopened Jim Beam.
No, I had Jim Beam before though.
That's one of the others I've tried, Jim Beam. I've tried Four Roses before, but I think we were just trying to get drunk, so we mixed it. And but sitting here and actually tasting, analyzing, smelling,
This is actually good bourbon.
bourbon is not something I'm used to.
It's better than their makers. I will say that.
By a long shot.
Has a lot more flavor.
We have a bourbon playlist. We're going to start adding these every week.
It does have a bite to it. Has a harsh aftertaste. But
It's rough, right?
it depends on who you ask. You know, since it's your first time, got to ease you into it. You
It's
know?
rough.
Got to coach you.
Maybe I'm
just
I'm a
sit
novice
back.
bourbon
Just sit back.
night.
Take it.
But I'm curious. Some people might say off with my head, but if you watch the video, I'm going to add a little
It's
water.
not bad. The initial taste on your initial taste when it hits is very inviting. It's very warming. But after that, it's a little bite. But it's not
A big bite.
Not really. I've had harsher bites. For a bourbon, God, I give it a 7. It's decent. It's an average bourbon. For the price point, it's very good.
I think it was, I
guess-
don't know. I looked online. It says it retails around 60, but I seen it's going for like over 100.
I guess for
stores.
bourbons, you get what you pay for. Like you could definitely tell.
Is that the secret?
Yeah, you could definitely tell in bourbons you get what you pay for. So far, from what I could tell.
I can't tell much of a difference with water added. I don't normally add water to whiskey, but I've been trying to experiment with new stuff. On ice, I always normally prefer my drinks.
Like I said, you could
Cold.
smell a lot more of it. Room temperature. Ice is supposed to, usually give off better scents, but with bourbon, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it takes away from
Cognac,
the
it
smell.
does.
Cognac, it does a lot.
We did that vodka lineup.
I love it. It's a lot sweeter.
A lot sweeter.
Yeah, it's a lot
You
sweeter.
know what? We just go ahead and keep it on ice.
Ooh.
Don't hate me,
And they
bourbon
don't have
drinkers.
it- yeah,
If I'm doing it
it-
wrong, let me know.
We might be, but until you had the two like side to side, you really can't understand like where we're coming from. It has a bite to it. When you add the ice, when you put it on ice chilled,
Yeah.
it doesn't have. It takes away that bite. It takes away a little of the flavor, not a lot though. The smell it takes away, but if we're just going strictly off of taste, it's more inviting. It's a lot more inviting. Like I can literally sit down and drink this, probably like better than a beer. I can drink on this.
This is delicious on ice. Room temperature, I'm okay with a 7. On ice, I'm going to give it a good 8. I know there's stuff that's going to be smoother and sweeter, but I really enjoy this. And this is a wheated bourbon. So not all bourbon are wheated. So I'm really looking forward to exploring all the options.
I do wonder what this tastes like with, Coke. I'm very adamant on mixing sometimes. Even though you don't do it, I would want to know what it tastes like.
Someone left a comment in one of our other videos. They said there's only one wrong way to drink whiskey, and that's mixing it.
It's a lot of ways.
But here's the thing. Say I was a host, and I got a $500 bottle of bourbon, right?
Right.
And I say, hey, make yourself a drink. And you take that $500 bottle of bourbon, and you put some Coke in it. Now, you done ruined. You done messed up my bourbon. The flavors, what I paid $500 for, the taste, aroma, it's gone. You just put Coke in it.
Listen.
So maybe you want a cheaper bourbon to mix.
Everybody's taste buds is different. If you probably an enthusiast of bourbon and you appreciate those things, but if you just like somebody coming to a party and it's harsh to you, or it's not as inviting as
you're just trying to get drunk.
This one is, and you're just trying to.
Well, keep your hands off my $500 bottle and get this $25 bottle.
Don't pass it around then. Shit. Because I'll be like,
no,
hey.
I come here with expectations. Hey, you should know.
Yeah, I came with an expectation that this is going to be good. This shit tastes like charcoal.
Step up your palate. That's what I would tell them. This is sweet. I get molasses, maybe some caramel. As far as the sweetness goes, it's really light. I don't smell a lot of
molasses. Who eats molasses?
It's the word used to describe certain sweetness in whiskey. Molasses. You're not going to say syrup.
You're right, but I just molasses just
smells
throws
like
me off. It's so old
syrup.
school. So old school. Go get that molasses, boy. Go get that out the cupboard.
Hey, let us know your thoughts on this. This, again, is probably the first bourbon I'm taking seriously as far as tasting, reviewing. I could drink this all day on ice. Absolutely. I know I told our lifeline to this bourbon path I would only drink a little, but he might end up with an empty bottle. I'm going to put some water and syrup in there and just...
It's a strong 7.5.
Give it back to him.
7.5.
I like it. Hey, like, share, subscribe. If there's any kind of liquors you want us to try, any kind of beers you want us to review, we got long lists. We've been doing this for over about 1.5 years now. So we coming up on 2 years, and things are going great.
All my life I've been drinking.
Keep an eye out for all our bourbons that are coming up. We appreciate your support. We out. Peace.
Peace.